Hey, it's Soul, and I'm here to demonstrate a suggested fix for professions and profession specializations in the War Within. Please like the video, subscribe for more coverage, and catch me live on Twitch. Right now, the flow of learning how professions work in the War Within is almost identical to that of Dragonflight. There are tooltips that tell us what does what, and that's about it. From personal experience, as well as feedback that I've read over the years, we can do a lot better at helping players learn how professions and specializations work, and the suggestions that I have intend to reduce mistakes made due to a lack of understanding. That's been the root cause of player feedback asking for respecializations of different forms, and I get that, but it's not needed as long as players are first empowered to make informed decisions. So let's jump right in with what I have to suggest, and we'll use the Dragonflight UI to demonstrate. Here I have a recipe selected, and we can view the usual information. What I propose is a button somewhere that basically lets us view specializations that affect this recipe, an easy little pop-up that calls our spec information, clickable as soon as we unlock specializations at skill level 25. Maybe it can be a flyout, maybe it's inside the window. I'm not a UI dev, but anyway, here we'll have the full list of related specializations that are sorted by tree, and it shows the points that have been applied to these trees. An add-on called CraftSim takes great strides to make this sort of data visible, but we shouldn't need an add-on to display what I feel is very critical information for all players. What I'd also like to do, though, is add some functionality to this window. Let's say that I want to put points into one of these specializations that I see here. What I want to be able to do is click here and it'll connect me directly to that spec tree and also highlight that particular spec. Something nice and visible and loud so I can make sure that I'm plugging my hard-earned points into the right place. Of course, there might be a case where we have no points even plugged into the spec or even the spec tree, but I feel like that's a good passive communication to the player. Let's look at this from the other side with another idea. So from the spec window here, I can mouse over one of the nodes and then right-click it. What it can do is give me the option to highlight affected recipes, and then when I turn the option on, it'll have like a certain glow to it. So from here, I can go back to the recipe list and see all the highlighted recipes on the left-hand side. I should be able to do this sort of highlighting with only one spec node at a time, and there could be a button that lets me undo the highlights to avoid confusion because, well, some nodes do affect every recipe, making the highlight feature pretty pointless in that case. In some instances, though, I think this highlighting can help with the decision making. Like if I highlight a certain node, I might see it highlight multiple recipes that I thought weren't related. Then I can kind of sort of plan out where I want to spend my points, knowing that it's going to affect this recipe and then that recipe and so on. I'll feel a bit more efficient with making a roadmap for my progression. From experience, I've come to the opinion that professions are in a pretty good spot, even in Dragonflight, but they just need some help for those who only take a casual approach to them. Regardless of how dedicated we are, though, we shouldn't feel confused or second-guess decisions, or worst of all, make a mistake that we can't take back. Now, there are good conversations to be had about respecs or taking back points, but before that, players ought to have a better understanding of what they're investing their points into, and I don't think better clarity is too much to ask for. That's all I got, so please like the video if it's useful, share it with others, start some conversations in the comments, and catch me live on Twitch. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.